Are we live yet? And here it comes.
Not sure yet.
We are live, guys. We are live.
I don't think we're live yet.
No, still there. Where do you see it's not live? Guys, are we live? Put one in the chat if we're live. Let me check my tab. It says live.
Yep, we're live.
Okay. Yeah, we got 7 people watching. Okay. So this is like, okay. So guys, I originally wanted to do this live, whose side are you on every week? And then, of course, I got like flaky for a little bit and I couldn't keep up with it. And then I started noticing that Andy Cohen was doing a whose side are you on his Watch What Happens Live. And then I was starting to be like, no, dude, no, you're not pointing that. You're not pointing that. I got to get back to it. But, yeah, so we're going to like do Jersey here because I seem to have a different opinion than other people.
Including me.
Including you. Now we're doing Teresa and Margaret. Now, I'm pretty sure everybody's seen the episode, but we're still like rolling off of last week's freak out, right? With Teresa freaking out at the restaurant and like, okay, now let me just say this. At that point, Teresa had already been listening to Margaret poke and prod and like, you need to talk about it. You need to talk about it. You need to talk about Louis. You need to talk about it. You need to talk about it, blah, blah, blah. And Teresa's like, I'm not talking about it. So when it comes up again, of course, Teresa's going to be like, what the fuck? Like, why? Like, what are you doing? Why do you keep bringing it up? And then, of course, we find out Margaret's talking to the girlfriends and stuff, allegedly. I mean, allegedly. So, okay, you know that Teresa is a psycho. You know that when she processes things right away, she's going to be freak out and it's not going to end well. You have to like take that into consideration, baby her a little bit, or take it. If you don't want her to throw things at you or have an argument with you, don't do the things that set her off.
But is that really being a friend?
But Margaret's not being a friend she's trying to destroy Louis's reputation. Now, yes, the stuff about Louis came out way before anybody even heard. They didn't even need her to do that. The Louis stuff was coming out regardless. And if Louis doesn't care about it and Teresa doesn't care about it, I understand Louis should, at least for them, shut them up and say, okay, I'll address it. If you really need me to, I'll address it. And he did, and he explained it. So, you know, everybody has allegations. If you have like a situation with Louis, supposedly, there's going to be allegations from ex-girlfriends that are jealous. I mean, come on, like people are going to say whatever they want. So, you know, if you think about it, there's something to say about everybody's relationship. So why are you picking on the woman who's lost her parents? Her husband was a piece of crap. And this guy who seems to be obsessed with her, not her money. And I don't believe that when Margaret says that Teresa is unhappy, and that's why she's acting out, and she can't be that happy if she's acting out. She's acting out because, like, literally, she doesn't understand the dumb that what people don't like want to, like, if you really love her, be happy for her. Just be happy for her and leave her alone. Right? Okay. I guess not. Okay. Do I agree with the fat shaming? Absolutely not. I think that Teresa can get a little immature, and why she was being sarcastic, saying she ate her meal and she always gets to eat first. And I made sure I eat. I know she was shading her weight and saying that Margaret never skips a meal. But like, you know, Margaret's like, that's all you have, y'all. That's all you have. But Margaret is vicious too. Margaret has a trout mouth who likes to spew things and say things. Whether she says it behind closed doors, she still says it to the other women. And, you know, it's like they're both kind of wrong. But I understand, like, because I freak out like Teresa. And, like, yeah, I will feel bad afterwards. But, like, you get to a point where you're like, oh, come on, like, how many times do I have to say the same thing over and over again? And what did she say to Teresa that made her throw that thing? What part was it?
Well, it was, she called her basically like she was being stupid or something like that, which you can't say to Teresa. You can't say that she's wrong.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it was basically something like that. Joe will probably know the exact words she used.
Something like disgusting pig or you're a disgusting human. Oh, I would have.
Yes, exactly.
It wouldn't have been just it would not have been it would have been that would have been way worse for Marge. Like, no, she's lucky that Teresa, because at that point, like, Teresa's crazy. And like, I know she has children. She doesn't want to go back to prison. You know, the cops will come, you will get an assault charge. But like, I could see, I don't know if I could hold, I would be. Because Margaret's not doing this as like, she's not doing it because she cares.
But at dinner, she didn't bring it up. Teresa kind of brought it up. And I think it was kind of brought up too, because Teresa had then been saying that she's going to these outlets and she's making the story come out, which seems a little ridiculous.
Who, that she thinks Marge is?
That she thinks Margaret is doing all of this. She's making the stories come out about Louis. That's what Teresa was saying to Jackie in the room the night before, that same day when they were getting ready. So
I could see Margaret reaching out to ex-girlfriends and trying to find out if he's abusive or something, or but like, if that were my friend, if you reached out to my dude's new ex-girlfriends, that's not your friend. You know what I mean?
But who said she did? She's just saying she's read it online, which it was online at the time.
Yeah. So, I wonder if there's more to it. Like,
after all, whenever you go on one of these shows, and we've seen it with all the franchises, there's always exes coming out talking. So I don't believe Margaret had to go look for them. I'm sure they were coming out and she's reading it. She's bringing it up. But
she doesn't have to bring it up either. Because once it's brought up on camera, it has to be addressed.
But she did try in the very first episode to have Teresa address it so it would just go away. She did try and be Teresa's friend. Maybe some stuff she's done.
I don't want to bring him. I don't want to talk about it. I choose not to talk about this. Let it go. It's my life.
That is a good point too.
But like, and after I think that Teresa has a bug up her ass with Margaret anyway, but this doesn't help. And I also disagree with Teresa thinking that it's disloyal of Dolores to stay with Margaret, because Teresa could handle her own at that point. And she did take her out the next day and try to explain it to her rationally, because that's how you have to handle her. Like, you have to just, stick up with her in front of people or have her back. But if you know she's wrong behind closed doors, tell your friend she's wrong.
She was friends with both sides. How do you stick up for your side and leave your other friend? That was my.
You stay with Margaret, and then when you take Teresa out to shopping the next day, you go with just you and her, and you say, "Look, I don't agree with what you did. I had your back, and Margaret, violence is not the answer. You guys were both going at each other. You're not neither one of you have either's best interest. So just knock it off. It happened. I don't think either one owes the other an apology, because they were both wrong. She's not going to apologize.
I think if she hadn't thrown the stuff and gone that far, she wouldn't have owned. But once you put physical violence, she owes an apology from that. If they had just had a screaming match, totally, they both did stuff wrong. But Teresa took it too far, and then has done the fat shaming. And maybe because I'm plus size, I'm more sensitive.
The fat shaming thing, she needs to apologize for that.
She's done a couple episodes now. She has now crossed the line.
Yeah. I don't know why Teresa does that, because she knows that that shit is not going to fly with the fans. No body shaming. You can call, the other shit, talk about the shit that she talks about. She talks about her situation with her ex-husband. That's the stuff that she put out in her book. Margaret puts out in her book. But calling somebody on their looks and how and their weight, it's really, we're not that's not constructive. But with people that I have issues with, I don't go after their looks or their situation or whatever, but I go after what you did to me and what you did. You know what I mean? That's an issue for me.
Yeah. Neither one has been right. I do think that Melissa's in a terrible spot. That's whose side I'm on right now.
Yeah.
That's me. But
Melissa, oh God.
How do you
Melissa she can't win. Melissa can't win at all, ever.
No.
Because so you got Joe, who's trying to stick up for Teresa with Gia, and then that's wrong. Mm-hmm. How dare you talk to my daughter about me? But your ex-husband is talking more shit on you, and I'm sticking up for you, Teresa, like you asked us to, her brother. But then when I do, you have your daughters, who are my nieces, that should not disrespect their uncle. I don't care if I was in my 30s that wouldn't disrespect my uncle. I still don't disrespect them. And I live in my own home, and I don't owe them shit, but I'm not going to disrespect my uncle and then yell at him on camera. I have an issue with her kids big time. I hope that they're more grounded than they seem. And I feel like maybe Gia just loves her mom and she thinks she's doing right by her, but like sit the fuck down. I'm so sorry. Like
I do think she thinks she's doing right by her. So
she thinks she is, but when Andy Cohen goes, why wouldn't she get a prenup? I mean, Gia, you know that you said something stupid right then and there. Take it back. Take it back.
That is true.
Like, I'm sorry. Deny till you deny. I mean, you can deny so far. You can only do things for so long. But like when it comes to the point, that is like, all right, Joe's trying to pop up. Joe Mendoza. Should we let Joe come in?
Yes.
Okay.
Hi, Joe.
Hey, Joe.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. I mean, I've got some things to say.
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't think. Here's the thing. When Teresa was saying that she was provoked, that she had to throw this stuff out, she really wasn't. She wasn't provoked. Like, she started that mess. Like, they weren't having conversations about Louis.
Is this the table situation?
She just started taking a
Okay.
dig at Marge because she's still pissed. And I think the last time that Marge spoke anything about the Louis situation was during Tracy's event where she was just responding to Teresa about, Marge like potentially talking to bloggers or talking to the actual exes about the abuse, and Marge was just rebutting, saying that, well, I wasn't the one that that says that he was abused. The ex-girlfriend said that he was abused. It was a response, and the only time that Marge actually pushed Teresa about Louis was during the Jersey Shore event when when Teresa asked, like, was there any, like, does anybody else have anything to say? She technically opened that conversation, and Marge, being who she is, she pressed for it because the question was asked.
Right.
So I don't necessarily. I also see the point where maybe Marge hasn't forgiven Teresa for concocting this plan, with Daniel Staub pulling her hair last season. But I don't necessarily think that, this scene about, Marge asking the questions is a direct ploy or attempt to get revenge on Marge, because those accusations have already been out there. So if Marge wasn't the one asking the questions, it's a total loss for the storyline in that season, because it's been out there. No one's really discussing it.
Yeah.
It'll just be boring. So I think Teresa, was just being,
She just hasn't gotten over.
Yeah, and she's not, just having dealt with the people that, she's dealt with in the cast. Like, she's not used to people actually questioning her and her life. Now you've got like Jackie and Marge that, don't roll with that bullshit. So, she's got to answer those questions. So I don't know.
Questions about Louis, you mean, or?
Well, no, I meant like Teresa has to answer those. Well, yeah, like Louis has to answer those questions, and Teresa should let Louis actually answer them. And I think Louis was more than willing and happy to answer them. So I think Teresa
I thought he already did, though. Like, I thought he explained it that night at the down the shore, what that was all about and the whole situation. So
and Teresa is still pissed because I don't really think that. So like the piece about the the nakedness with the other men, that was resolved in that Jersey Shore Rumble. But then the piece about the domestic abuse stuff, I think that, well, I don't know if that specific gossip was because I know Adam kept talking about like how that wasn't in the
It
law.
was,
So
yeah.
I'm not sure if
It's an
that was
accusation, but it was a charge. You can charge anybody with anything you want. It just doesn't matter. It might not stick in court. It might not be true.
right.
He might,
But I'm not. But if those accusations from the ex girlfriends are actually already out there, and
yeah.
Marge is just like, "Hey, is this true?" I think she was just being like, "Hey, I'm looking out for Teresa. Like maybe she's got her love blinders on because this
Yeah.
guy, the way that he's treating Teresa is far and beyond what." Joe Giudice like actually treated her,
And what's wrong with that?
yeah, and maybe that is consistent. So she doesn't want, you know,
But
like,
an accusation from an ex-girlfriend
hmm?
is not, and I would consider an accusation of abuse from an ex-girlfriend bullshit, whether it's true or not. Teresa's been with him at this point a year, and everybody, and even if he did in his past, like I don't believe that Marge had to bring it up on camera, had to keep poking about it. And I mean, reaching out to ex-girlfriends and asking if it's true or not, like,
Well, did we actually get
is it going
evidence?
to change anything?
Did,
It's not going to
did,
change
did
Teresa's
we actually get
mind.
evidence that she reached out though to the ex girlfriends?
Well, I mean, I guess I don't know if they're going to show us that, but I mean, I don't know where else she would get that information from. Like, I guess maybe Teresa assumed it or she heard that she did. But
Well, she could just be reading it at the time. There was just all this stuff coming
Yeah,
out of Louis.
there's a bunch of articles
There's
about
a
like
ton
the
of
ex
articles.
girlfriends popping
right.
up about about
I mean, I'm sure that if like one of us became famous or I became famous, there'd be a lot of shit. All my past shit would be coming up that you don't
I
already know,
know. So yeah,
and
so
that's
let's
fine. But
yeah,
like get over it. Like the guy,
yeah.
Teresa's
No,
with
so
him.
yeah, so let's have an analogy, right?
Okay,
So
yeah,
let's say ERIN, like you become super famous, and we saw that you are now linked to, I don't know,
Army
some
Hammer.
guy,
Army Hammer.
some guy named, I don't know, Ronald Richards,
I don't know. Army Hammer's better.
or yeah, Army
We
Hammer,
hear
and then
things about Army Hammer.
and
We
then
hear things.
yeah, and then after that we just start seeing like all these like articles about eating fingers, phalanges, like body parts. Like wouldn't we as friends of Aaron,
Yeah,
hey girl, like just wanted to let you know, like there's this stuff out there, like we're
yeah,
just looking out for you and want to make sure that if you knew this guy like 3 to 4 months and he's been nice to you, that you are aware of this shit and that you got the truth from him and are still okay with it.
yeah.
The way that Teresa is responding to how Marge is, like trying to reach out to her was more of like, I don't want to talk about it. So like Marge not knowing what actually Teresa thinks, or even if she cares to know,
She
it's
should just.
her because she felt like an actual responsibility. It's like, hey, I want to make sure that you're not blinded by this and that you're actually aware of what's happening because you don't want this to bite you in the ass down the road.
And isn't that being a friend?
That is, but you do it once, and then when Teresa says, "I'm good," it's good. You drop it, and you don't keep going on and on. You don't just keep bringing it up and saying things.
But
Like,
they weren't the
Teresa's
same
exception.
thing, though. She was
Huh?
bringing up different subjects. The first thing was about the video, and
Yeah,
then there was
I know, but
abuse.
like,
And the abuse, I maybe would have brought up myself as a friend, even if
yeah,
it was
like
the
she did bring
video.
it up to her, and Teresa said, "That's the past. That is the past. Every time you bring something up, I'm letting you know that is his past. I do not want to hear it." That's all she keeps. That's all she's asking, and she's asking to stop doing it on camera. Stop doing it
But
on.
she actually did stop after. So the abuse one, she did actually. She only brought it up, and now Teresa has brought stuff up because the abuse thing she did stop bringing up once Teresa said it at the whatever thing that Tracy had
Episode 8.
organized.
Yeah, that was episode 8. We're in what episode now? Episode 14. So like since episode 8, it's been Teresa that's just been attacking Marge. I'm like, you keep
Just
dragging
attacking
this.
her
I'm like,
for no reason.
bro, she started talking about it episode 8. So like I don't
Yeah.
understand what you're talking about. You keep dragging the topic, Teresa.
She must really be hating Marge for this. So like she just can't let it go. Like she just, I don't know. Every time she sees her, I guess she just gets like enraged about it again. And then like, Margaret's not gonna not stick up for herself. And then it just brings Teresa right back to
If
that.
you think about it, like if Teresa didn't get so mad and just got over it after that episode 8 in that Tracy
Yeah. Sometimes it's not a choice though, Joe, to get over it. Believe me. Sometimes you want to be over it and you just can't.
True.
Like it's hard to just honestly, it's hard to like seriously. Like if believe me, I wish I had a switch that turned off things that bother. You know what I mean? Like I'll never get over certain things, but like I wish I could. I just won't. But I'm not going to be around those people either.
But I was wondering. I was kind of wondering, is she blaming her for the stuff that's going on in the news? Because that's what it seems like. Maybe she's like saying all the stuff going on in the news that at the time was going on. She's blaming Margaret for all that. Not just what Margaret has said on the show, but stuff that's like literally just on the
putting
blogs.
stuff out on the blogs by like Marge's like really like.
She's acting like Marge did all those blogs. That's what I thought anyway.
Well, I mean, then if Marge isn't, then there should be receipts that did it. Like, what was Marge saying? Was Marge saying, "I'm not talking about you out in the blogs"? Like,
yeah, she literally said,
Teresa needs to bring the
receipts
to? Yeah, she needs to bring the receipts then, Teresa. Honestly.
Yeah, that's what we're all like.
Yeah.
Teresa sounded a little crazy to me on that.
I mean, yeah, she does. It does. I see where her brain's going. It's not processing the right way at first. At first, she's not going to give up. It's just going to be how she feels. And because I kind of get it, but like you do, hopefully after you calm down, you realize that you were a little wrong and that you owe people apologies and maybe you shouldn't have reacted that way. I mean, I at least apologize, but like Teresa's just like, no, fucking not now. Mm-mm.
I'm also wondering if Teresa's trying to get in front of some of the blogs so that it looks like it's Marge, so that when people are seeing this show, they'll think, oh, well, none of that was really real about Louis. Marge just did all that.
Fine, but don't blame Marge for the stuff out there unless nobody's blaming Marge for the stuff that Louis did. She's blaming Marge for bringing it to light. She assumes Marge brought it to light. Nobody is blaming Marge for Louis. Louis has admitted to his mistakes. He has admitted to his issues.
Oh no, Teresa did.
She said that it's Marge's fault that Louis did all these horrible things to his ex-girlfriends.
But she doesn't think any of them are real. She thinks Marge somehow had them made up or something. It was weird.
Well,
how she phrased it.
It's in a police report that he was accused of abuse. There's a video that he was on this place. The hearsay stuff about him being abusive, whatever. But like the thing is, if it's true or not, nobody's blaming Marge for what he did. She's blaming Marge talking about it.
But Teresa is accusing Marge of bringing them to light. But when they've already been out there, so what is she bringing it up? So no,
I'm actually responding to Trish. She said, "Don't blame Marge for the stuff that's out there on Lewis."
Yeah, but so let's say Marge didn't bring any of this up.
Well, the ex-girlfriends probably did, and Marge just heard it and repeated it.
And and let's say they never talked about it because they're scared of Teresa. Just hypothesizing out there.
Yeah.
How do you think this season is going to go on Jersey? It'll be boring as hell.
Well,
and two, like.
It would. You're right. On a production, the production eyes and like viewers' eyes, we want the drama and we want them to act ridiculous and all like that.
And I'm pretty sure the producers wouldn't let them get away with not bringing it up. It has to be brought up. So Marge is technically just doing her job. She's
Bravo's opinion.
As Lisa Rinna would say, you better believe we're going to talk about it.
Yeah, but I mean, I get it. All right, well then don't be upset when Teresa freaks the fuck out because that's her personality. That's what's going to happen when you go after her stuff.
And
that's production's, decision if they want to keep her on there being abusive. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and when she freaks out, then she gets kicked out of the cast mansion.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's the change it did. Like, honestly, I know better. Like, if I'm going to act like that, I know that I'm most likely going to be kicked out of wherever I'm at, and I'm not going to be let back. Like, you know, or I'm going to be arrested, or, you know, people are like, so, you know, I try not to embarrass my family. I don't, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to embarrass my family. So, but, so, all right. Now, Dolores. Dolores stayed with Marge, but Teresa is looking at it as
Betrayal.
because she's not co-signing her crap that she's disloyal and is now not speaking to her, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know that I don't agree with, because I don't know how Teresa can look at that as one of her picking the right side, not your side. It's the side of right. How is that being like, you know that Dolores is not a disloyal friend to you, Teresa. That's not what it's about. So I kind of feel bad for Dolores there, because like Dolores is Teresa's friend. If she wasn't, she'd flip the fuck out of her on her and tell her to knock it off. But no, she lets Teresa freak out because she knows that's what has to happen. She knows it's not going to be productive to try to stop her. And she takes her aside later and says, look, you're my friend. Do you really think you handled this the right way? You know, like, let's go shopping and let's try to talk to her. And it didn't work. And
from their points of view, they both think they're right. They just have different definitions of what a friend is.
Right.
Like, you know, Teresa's more level-headed. I mean, Dolores is more level. Yeah, sorry. Dolores is more. Dolores is more level-headed. Like the way that she mentioned it, you know, like during the confessionals, like, hey, if there's a big fight like that, you know, like she typically tries to placate or pacify, you know, the person that would be harder to pacify.
Right.
But when Frank did mention, like, girl, we're hosting this event, like, sit your ass back down. So she stayed there so Frank can eat his food, but
and eat everybody else's.
Yeah, but for Teresa's point of view, for you to be her friend, you need to have blind loyalty, and that doesn't work for a lot of people. I know.
Is that a friendship though?
No,
it's not. Like, I always say to people, like, if I can't tell you, like, if I'm not going to sugarcoat things, it does a disservice to your, it does a disservice to your friend to lie to them and make them believe that they're doing, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to, like, I don't know how to do it any other way. I don't know how to be any other way. I guess that's why I don't have any friends, but I just, like, I don't know, you know, I don't know how to, like.
No, I mean, in some of our previous conversations, Chris, like I've called you out on our personal DMs, like, hey, why did you need to do that? You didn't need to do that.
I know.
So, like, I think if you're a true friend to someone, you should be able to be, you know, open and transparent on the good and bad behaviors that you're seeing and how that's affecting you. And if you can't fully and openly express that to that person, then is it really a friendship? Because it just sounds one-sided.
Yep. And like we were saying about another certain party, if they don't think you have their best intentions, it's never going to work. Like, you can't be friends with somebody that's constantly thinking that you have their worst intentions, not the best.
Yeah.
And yeah. But I mean, Teresa knows better, I believe. She knows that in her head she's wrong. Like, no, she really does. She knows she's wrong. She's just never going to admit it. That's the thing. She's too prideful to admit that. Like, she knows that she shouldn't have acted like that, huh?
I'm not sure she knows.
No, she really does. No, she does. She will calm down and say, I was wrong, but then she doesn't care, though. That's the thing. She will make you wrong, but she don't care to change it.
She still thinks that Marge telling the truth is worse than Teresa spreading the rumor about Evan.
Marge telling the truth about Marge telling the
truth about Bill was worse than Teresa spreading a rumor about Evan.
Yeah, she does. She said that.
Believes that.
Yeah, because she doesn't she's not. All right, I'm not going to say she does it. It's not connecting for her. So she does. Yeah, it just doesn't connect. It's apples and oranges, and she's not seeing it that way.
I mean, you know, you just gotta hand it to Teresa. Like, she holds strong to her convictions. Now, whether or not her convictions are right, that's questionable. But hey, at least she sticks to them. So
I mean, like, I try to see other perspectives, but I just know that sometimes, like, there's this one situation right now that I refuse to give in on. I just don't feel that. I just feel a certain way about it, and I'm not going to change the way I feel. And then I'm talking about, like, in my life, so, but, like, to me, everybody else is like, but it's your situation. It was your problem with them, not theirs. So why are you, you know what I mean? Like, I feel that my own sister and should not speak to M or those other women in that circle because of the situation. It literally breaks my soul when my sister talks to those people. But I get upset with her, and she's like, she doesn't understand why I get upset about that. But I feel like if you do something to me, you do it to my sister too. Like, if you do something to my family, you do it to me too. And like, I won't budge on that. And it's like, I'm starting to like, but that's just like, I'm saying Teresa probably will never budge on that. And for me, to me, that's one thing I don't agree with. Like, like, you did a horrible thing, like some horrible things to me and my family, like, and my husband. Why should I be should I be okay with my sister still being friends with these people? Tell me the truth, honestly.
No. I don't think somebody betraying you and then being friends with your sister, it's
like betraying me in horrible, horrible ways, stealing from my family, me.
I think that's way farther than what we're going on in Jersey, because no, you don't betray your own family like that. No, you're not wrong. Your sister shouldn't talk to those people if they hurt you deeply like that.
Well, that's like what Teresa thinks. Like, Teresa thinks that just because she's fighting with Marge, that nobody should talk to Marge. Like, and if, you know what I mean?
But they're in the same group of friends, and she didn't physically or financially hurt Teresa.
So I think what Erin's trying to say is that, like, it's a totally different situation when you think about it, right? Because you and your sister are family. You've known each other for years. You have a different expectation of your sister.
Yeah.
Where, like, in the show, as far as we know, they're all friends, quote unquote,
Yeah.
So you have a different expectation of your family than what you do of your friends. Like, I hold my sister accountable a lot higher than I would my friends, because I expect that we've grown up together. You've seen what's happened. You know how I am as a person, so you know how I would react. Where when you're friends with somebody, you don't deep dive in a lot of friendships. Like, most people don't. It's very on the surface. Like, it's very, oh, hi, how are you? Or, did you see what happened on such and such? It's not like people deep dive a lot to understand who somebody is. Like, I think, is Marge being pushy? Sure. And I think Frank said it best. She's inquisitive. Like, she questions everything. And people who question everything tend to get on people's nerves. Like, naturally. Like, especially if you're naturally secretive.
Mm-hmm. Well, question somebody else's life then.
Yeah, like, but I mean, it's true for, like Joe said it earlier, if they didn't have their little thing going, what would we be watching?
True. On a production eyes, yeah.
Yeah, and how much is production too, Like, these shows have been going for over 10 years. There's only so many things you can, quote unquote, reinvent.
Yeah.
And Teresa did know when she brought her new boyfriend, fiance, whatever, onto the show. She's not new to this. 10 years. She's watched other people go through this. Any dirt he had in the back was going to come up, and it was going to come up on the show. She'd have to be a fool not to think it.
Yeah.
I mean,
didn't he do what everybody wanted him to do? He addressed it.
But not really. He kind of actually just blamed them and said, like, she stabbed her ex. He told a story about his ex girlfriend that he was engaged to, and how she almost stabbed her ex-husband or ex-boyfriend or something. Mm-hmm. He deflected. He didn't really explain.
Well, that's his way of. That's his business. He did what they wanted. He brought it up. He talked about it. I think he was wrong. I mean, yeah, he tried to gaslight the chick, but at this point, we see what he's going to do. So why even try to push him to keep talking about things that are coming out? Like, I don't know. Teresa's not going to leave him. She's not. She's not going to believe no matter what. It's not going to faze her. It's not. It's just going to make her, it's just going to ruin her friendships. And, you know, it's just going to make her mad. And it's just going to, at this point, like, you know, she doesn't want to hear it. But she's, the violent thing, like, if it's that serious to Teresa, like, please stop bringing it up to her, because, like, or she needs to not be around them, because she's going to end up going to jail.
But that's on Teresa. That's not on them.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. If Teresa can't handle the questions, or you don't want to see her freak out, they don't need to be hanging out with each other, because they push each other's buttons, and one of them's going to end up hurt or in jail,
Right.
or just don't talk about it.
But then what happens to the show? Do you have
What happens to the show?
Did you have Real Housewives of New Jersey without Teresa, or without?
How will we have it without Teresa? They keep goddamn Jennifer Shaw and Erica. They keep all the other criminals. Get the hell out of here.
What I'm saying is, like, if Teresa is refusing to hang out or doesn't want to hang out with the rest of the cast, would production actually try and get a new cast that would actually work for and would like to be with Teresa? Like,
no, they would get rid of Teresa, I think. Yeah. I think that at this point, they would replace Teresa, or Teresa's not going to walk away. She's not going to walk away from the money, but, like, they have the opportunity to walk away. But, like, Teresa's not changing, is what I'm saying. She's not changing. She's going to end up screwing herself over, but she's not changing. So, I mean, we can't make her change if she doesn't want to. It's just going to end up she's going to end up losing things, or, like, either losing her job or her friendships, or
and
at
I
this
think
point, it's pointless to bring it up to her, you know?
Yeah, and I think that's the thing too. I think Marge and some of these new people are asking for too much as far as how they would expect Teresa can change her character. Like, girl, like that woman, you know, has lived some years. Like, she is not going to change that much as a person, and I don't think anybody should expect it. Like you know, like, I could totally understand what Joe Gorga is saying, like, hey, this is progress, that Teresa actually apologized, because if you've seen
half apology, but it actually
I was not hear a lick of her apologizing to nobody. And for her to actually apologize for something, not necessarily to Marge, because there was no apology to Marge, but she apologized for, you know, to everyone for the behavior that she did, you know, that made the rest of them uncomfortable.
Well, yeah, like I said, she knew she was wrong there. She admitted she was wrong there. That's a start.
So for me, I was like, okay, well, compared to how she was before, that is progress. But to everybody else, like, even like outside viewers, like, is that enough? No. But, you know, you can only appreciate the person for what they can actually deliver on. So, like, if that's how much Teresa is willing to give you, then, you know, you can't expect anything more. And that's really just it. I think some of the women are expecting a lot more, but that would just be a really fruitless exercise, because that ain't happening.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like, we're expecting compassion out of Erica Jane, and she's never showed it in her life before and after. We're expecting accountability from Jennifer Shaw. We know that she's never done that, even on the show. So it's like pushing for something we're not going to get. Just accept that that's what's.
I don't know about Jen Shaw. She's showing some episodes in The Real Housewives of Compassion. Remember where she was like, "Oh, let's have all these, like, school supplies for our Tongan community." Like, she's showing some compassion out there, and how she's a good person. I mean, being a marketing executive that Jen Shaw is, she knows how to make herself look good.
Does she?
Well, in some cases, but
yeah,
you know.
I mean, I saw glimpses of what Coach Shaw probably fell in love with at the reunion. She was a little more humbled than she usually is, and I was like, okay, well, when she's not being amazing, she's actually a human that, like, you can relate to and feel bad that she was in that situation that she put herself in.
You mean if she's not being an asshole, she's actually amazing?
When she's not being an asshole, no. When she's really not being overly dramatic and denying, she actually, you see that, like, before she committed these crimes, what Shaw fell in love with, what Coach fell in love with. It's not this like character amazing. Like she looks really like normal, and but then I think like, God damn, man, like what was her end game? Like, did she just think that it was going to last forever? Did she not care that her family was at risk? Did she like think that she was using the show to get out of this trouble, maybe pay things back, and it didn't work? Like maybe she was trying to like fix the situation before, but no. Mm-mm. I don't think she had an end game. I know I'm regressing, but it just, like, I think, like you guys said, it's like a filler episode, but like when I saw Teresa freak out last week, I was like, whoa, dude. Like I see that temper, and like sometimes it just happens, and it could be it had nothing to do with the other people. She could just be having an off day. But yeah. I mean, I don't know. I can't really. It's hard for me to like justify it or not justify it, because I know there's times where like I just lost my shit and like for an hour or two, and that's like I really realized afterwards like that was ridiculous. Like, holy crap, Krista.
Yeah. I do appreciate Dolores when she went shopping with Teresa to like try to come.
Yeah.
I think, it's really part of Dolores knowing Teresa, because like she knows that she has to spend one-on-one time with Teresa, and the way that she explains like, hey, we both struggle with rage. This was my experience when I had my rage with Jackie, but I needed to be an adult. I needed to step away and then chillax and just be like, hey, I didn't want to be like that. I know you don't want to be like that. So let's just have a good time, right? I also loved what she said in the after show where Dolores was like, emotions don't travel through rational channels. I'm like, you know what? For some reason, I thought that doesn't apply all the time, but I think that is almost always the truth, because when your emotions run high, you don't necessarily think much about how you could rationally approach,
obviously,
convey that message to someone in a rational manner. So
obviously,
huh?
That's obvious. I mean, yeah, that's you're absolutely 1,000% right.
Yeah.
That's exactly, yeah. You obviously can't like like I do not. I try not to react on emotion when it first happens, and I give myself a day to process what's going on, and then I react. But if I don't do that, like you've seen it, like the stuff with Jordan. Poor Joe. I'm like, Joe, call me, and I was like, for like an hour, and I was like, all right, sorry.
We're calling out the person, girl. We're live.
Krista Fletch.
What happened?
Hey Mocha, what did you think about Dolores went about it with Teresa in the shop with the boots and all that?
I don't know. I mean, I think some of you know me well enough already to know like I don't BS around. But I think it's like how we're saying, your idea of friendship is so different because of the way you grow up, the community you're brought into. Like, not everyone has the same expectations of friendship. Like for me, I need my friends to be brutally honest and tell me if I'm being stupid.
Me too.
That's just me. But also, like, I'm that person to my friends. Like, if I think you're being stupid, I'm going to tell you because that's why you're my friend.
Yeah.
And I think, as nice as it was for Dolores to go with Teresa and not leave her on her own, which that part I always respect for people. Like, I don't ever want anyone to feel like they're left out. But, like, it's got to be exhausting, right? Like, when you're... And you think about it, like, the two people who are really stuck between Margaret and Teresa as friends, is Dolores and Melissa. Because Melissa's family, so she's stuck either way. And, like, Erin made that point to me when we were talking about it. And I'm like, yeah, that's so true. Like, whether she agrees or disagrees, she hurts somebody. And then same for Dolores, right? Like, she's known Teresa forever, but she's grown really close to Marge.
But
And
she
like,
understands how to handle.
yeah, and I was thinking to myself, like, when Marge was like, oh, well, I talk to you 5 times a day and I always ask about your mum and blah, blah, blah. And I was thinking, yeah, like, it's okay, but we don't know if Teresa's doing the same. And that's not to say that she isn't. Like, she could be asking about Val every single day at the time, but we don't know. But, like, I can see everyone's point of view, and that's probably my biggest downfall is that, like, I could actually see everyone's point of view and how painful it is for everybody in the group. But, like,
Yeah.
I think when you get to a certain age, you got to really think about how you react. And, like, I think with being on TV even more so, like, her whole adult life has been on TV. Like, what, Adriana and Melania have literally grown up.
Mm-hmm.
We've watched them grow since they were babies on this show. Like, that, you can literally count that woman's trajectory through how old the kids are. And, like, yeah, can people just shut up and leave her alone? Sure. But if you're a real, like, if I was a real friend, would I just leave my friend and not say anything if I was worried? No. But if it was starting to annoy them to the point of, like, them spewing out negativity, I'd be like, okay, well, clearly we need to redefine what our friendship is.
Yeah. I mean, I totally agree. That's why, honestly, I don't have any friends because, I mean, I just, I don't, yeah. I don't have the energy to continuously tell you what you do that hurts me. Like, I do it for so long. And, like I said, we were no angels to each other either. Like, but I'm not going to stay in a vicious cycle of like doing things back and forth with a friend or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, at some point I walked the fuck away and ended up walking away from a lot of people. And it just sucks because, like I could sit around and be a psycho, risk going to prison because of my temper and because I don't know how to handle, like on all that. Or I could just sit home and cleanse my soul and break my heart to save my soul and be lonely and miserable. But it's like,
Yeah, because I've had a friendship that, like, there's just 2 people in my life. I was there with their kids and everything every day. And she had a habit that she needed to feed that became more important than her own family. And it killed me to see that because I grew up with her. Like, this
yeah.
is someone who was, and in my culture, like, if you're that close to me, you're considered my sister.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a big, like, thing for us.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that she was doing this, like, it really hurt. And I miss, like, even now, I still miss her. But I also know if she stayed in my life, there's no way I could be the best version of me. And I think, like I said, it's defining what you believe is a really good friendship or what you want in a friendship from the start of the friendship. Like, you can't turn around halfway through the friendship and be like, well, I don't like the way that you're acting all the time. Like,
It was
if you know someone's a nut, like,
27
they're going to be a
years.
nut.
27 years. Okay. We went through 27 years together, and it wasn't until we got older and, into drugs and like where we worked at, making the money there. And like her husband, money and drugs. And like, that's one thing, but she was also doing other things to me as well. But like, she was doing things to other people and I never thought she was doing it to me. So it's not like I just like decided one day, like, oh, I don't like you as a friend. Never mind. We're not my kind of friend. Like, we were literally, like, when my best friend shot herself, that was her sister, M's sister. That, from that day on, she was the other half of my soul, basically. And, like, for 25 years, like I said, we were doing things together. Like, we were doing illegal things together, but, like, not hurting each other. But, like, it's just, You know, when I go away for one reason and it's a violation of probation, which is not much, it's really not that bad. And then you tell somebody it's because of another reason, like it's just things like that. There's just things that, and I don't get, it doesn't bother me that she is still in that group of people, like Teresa's that younger crowd of them, of like Melissa's crowd and all. And I don't really care if they talk to her husband or not. I would just feel, like that my friendship is more important, I would think. I don't know, not my friendship, but like
You as a person.
Like I just feel a certain way about loyalty. I just do. I don't know.
Did
And
anybody,
I think like
did anybody else, when we're talking about the friendships, get jealous of how the guys act? Because they could just let it go.
I know. Well, because they don't do fucked up shit to each other.
Yeah.
They really don't. I mean, when I talk about M's husband, he screwed the state. It wasn't like he screwed his friends over. He just like stole from all. You know what I mean? Like he just committed a white collar crime. Like,
But like
you
the
know.
men mentality is like, I'll punch you, you punch me, we're done. You
Yeah.
know, like that's why I've always like, when even growing up, like I was such a boy. Like my mentality was like the men. It was like we punch on and then we're friends again, because like
There's
because
got to
that
be.
makes sense to me, right? Because
There's got to be
when you
something here.
continuously push in the narrative of like I'm right, you're wrong, even
I
though
feel that
everyone's right in their own way, it's just the way it comes across too. Because like it's also in how you say things, how you
I
know
just
how
feel
you
like
word them. Like yeah,
Teresa must really just not like. Teresa just has it out for Marge for some reason, and I don't think it has really. It doesn't matter what Marge does, it's not gonna sit right with Teresa. I feel like she just comes at her. There's got to be something going on. She just must not like her for one reason or another to keep, like, you know, that to keep going. Because Teresa does not have to get that upset. She could just tell her, shut the fuck up and walk away. But it seems like she really does not like Marge for some reason. And Marge sees that. And Marge, I don't know if Marge still cares about Teresa, but like it doesn't, at this point, how could you? You know, Teresa's telling you that, like, you know, you're not my people anymore or whatever, blah, blah, blah. So, but I feel like, like, what they're fighting about on the camera, there's got to be way more to it for her to be this nasty to her.
Krista, do you feel than you did when we first started the live, or do you feel the same? Because you seem like you've changed a little bit your opinion, maybe.
I mean, I just agree that I kind of agree with both of them. I just feel like they're both wrong. You know, I mean, they're both wrong. And but like, I'm not sticking up for Teresa because I feel like I make the same mistake, and I shouldn't do that either. I shouldn't make a spectacle of myself and like threaten, you know, throw things across table. You know what I mean? I shouldn't act like that in public and go after people. And I get it, or say mean things, or like for something it's not really that serious, but I calm down. So I can't really defend that part, but it's wrong. I'm saying it's wrong. I'm wrong too. They're both wrong. And I just like, they need to realize that just stay away from each other. If you cannot leave each other alone, just stay away from each other. And if it has, you know what, like, then you got to decide whether you can be on the show with her or not.
Oh, Erin, I love the little smirk there. Are you thinking it's like, oh, I won this argument?
I mean, like, I don't think I'll tell you all the day long. Like, I know I'm wrong sometimes, but
no,
but I think that's it, Krista. You're admitting like I know where there's things I could fix, right?
yeah,
Like that's what you're saying. But I think
yeah. I mean,
what the viewers in general are saying with Teresa is like we don't ever see that side of her where she's like, I could probably adjust. Like in her own interviews, she doesn't have to say it to Marge, but she could say, do I need to like adjust how I apologize to people or how I react? Sure. But like we don't get that side of her, so I think it's really hard for the general population to be like, well, I can see the real Teresa and I think she's probably a lovely woman, except for, you know, like, and we got to remember too, like it's a show. How much of it is manufactured?
oh God, it's real.
How much of it?
Those tempers
Yeah,
are real.
how much is it real? Like, what is, like you said, if she's going that
Unfortunately.
hard, what is happening outside the show?
Right. There's more serious stuff. Like I was
Yeah,
gonna say,
like
that it's an
there could be
absolute
way more going
overreaction.
on than what we know. And like editing is
Oh
everything,
God.
right? You can only edit what they give you, and the way you cut things up depicts the storyline.
Yeah.
But seriously though, for how manufactured the show is, they couldn't manufacture that
It's not.
recording of that song. Like seriously,
Yeah.
like that song was terrible.
I like OC Reels. That song was catchy.
Yeah, but that's like
This
Richard
Jersey one
Marx
was
with like a
horrible.
touch. Yeah, that's like some Richard Marx touch on there. You
Right?
know?
I was like, OC Reels. I was like getting into it. It's like, yeah.
No, but like there was such a stark difference when the OC ladies like recorded the song. Like they like most of them sounded terrible, but then when they just pressed play, when they were like playing the concert at Shannon's house, they all sounded amazing. It
Yeah.
felt like for the lady drama girls, like it felt like they literally just did the recording, did nothing with the
No
editing
wonder.
or sound mixing, and then just press play like a cassette tape, and it still sounded horrible. I'm like, wow, like that
Was this,
you couldn't manufacture, girl. Like
was, wait, was this
But-
the finale?
No,
No.
Next week, right?
Yeah, next week.
Yeah.
But I will say, I did like watching Jennifer this time because she actually looked like she was having fun.
Yeah.
And I thought that was nice to see her included in the group instead of her feeling like she's excluded. Because that can turn someone's whole day around. And like you can actually see her having fun and she's like throwing out her own little lines and that. And I thought, see, if we got that type of Jennifer, maybe people would understand her a bit more. And like I think it's that concept of like being a housewife is so much more these days, like you don't have to live in your husband's shadow anymore. And I think
When have they ever?
but I think she's coming into her own
I think,
person. Like everything that's
yeah.
happened for Jennifer is kind of like pulled things out of her that she was holding on to, like all that stuff with Bill. Could you
But
imagine holding that in for over 16 years or something, 10 years?
Yeah, but I don't
That's
think.
crazy.
But I think she chose to let it go. I don't think she was holding it in. I think them bringing it up just made her have to think about it. I think she was over it, and she was going to move on for the rest of her life from it. I think them bringing it up, it reunited the pain for her kids, and all. But I think she would have went on her rest of her life never talking about it.
Yeah, she would have. And
I
that's
have
the
an-
Turkish
I have an
culture.
unpopular opinion on this one. I don't think she's over it yet.
You know what?
I'm with
Yeah,
Joe.
she's over it.
I don't think she's over it yet. I don't think she was over it when it happened.
Oh no.
I think her unraveling was real when she was actually forced to think about it.
But it was
But
10
then
years.
she's also thinking about the future of like, okay, well, I need to figure out what my plan is going forward. So I mean, even
I mean,
if
she's going to leave him now.
look at the entire-
10 years later, like.
yeah, but if you look through the interactions, like that, the last time we saw, that, the interaction between Bill and Jen, from like, Jen getting hurt to like now they're laughing about drunk Bill, was that sit down lunch where Jen was saying like, oh, I'm gonna get half your stuff. How did it get from that conversation to now they're being okay? Like I felt like something happened in between that episode and the next one where things were just shut down, and maybe they're having some like private couples therapy, which could be a good thing. I just don't think it's fully resolved yet. I think Jennifer is just keeping her shit together now, like she has over 10 years ago, to make sure that, hey, this news or the storyline got opened. I need to nip this in the bud and then move on so I could trash everybody else next season.
I hope not. If she goes back to that again, wow. I hope she doesn't do that again. See, we have this thing where we kind of don't believe that Jennifer, Marge, and Jackie are really from here. Like we kind of laugh all the time. Like not laugh, but like I always say to like a certain person, what water is she drinking? Like she's not drinking our water. And like, even like, she's definitely not cut from Mark. Like, it's like, we kind of like question whether they're really from Jersey, because like, they don't act like it.
Where's Tenafly?
Tenafly?
Mm-hmm.
Where is it, or what is it?
No, where?
It's
like in relation to like where you are, for example.
Like, well, if I'm in Tom's River, it's right next. It's in like, it's within 5 minutes, but
okay. Because Jackie was like a real estate lawyer, right? So I mean, she's been in Jersey for a while. So I don't know, like maybe it's just Jersey's just a real.
Oh no, I know she's from here. We just joke around that like maybe she drank different water than us or something. I don't know.
Oh, she's what?
We just joked that like maybe she didn't really drink the water from here, or like we joke like maybe she's secretly like a spy agent, not from here.
Yeah. Well, she is secretly rich, right? So she
very secretly rich. Yes.
Yeah.
Not so much a secret now.
I mean, yeah.
But how rich is Jackie? I totally forgot about that.
She has old money, like from her parents, and then like she made good money when she did the her articles that she would write. And Evan makes good money too. But like I believe her parents, her parents, I don't know what they did, but they their house, like, it's just a very like, there's areas that are like, the houses are just very well built. They're old money houses. They, they're like on huge pieces of land. You know what I mean? Like, and then the houses that they build now for 300,000, they're like on top of each other. They look like doll houses. There's no woods, and it's like extremely expensive. But Tenafly's pretty. I mean,
do you have any tea on Jackie and her sister?
Like their relationship?
Yeah.
Like from high school or from now?
Now, I mean, from what I heard, they still don't talk. Or is that not true?
The last time I heard anything about that, like not on the show, it's Jackie tries. Like they'll invite Chris. They'll have like a Christmas invite where they would all go to a certain family member's house, but they don't speak there. And I just think it's a situation where they're extremely different people, and I don't know what it would take. I really don't know what it would take.
Yeah, so I'm guessing we won't see her sister in any of the future seasons.
No, and I feel like too, like her sister doesn't want any other things. Like, social media will make up things as well. So I believe that they don't want any other things being brought up, or not brought up, but like either made up or assumed. And but Melissa's sisters are really cool.
Yeah, and whatever happened to that chick that was bragging that she's on the show, but like she was barely on like one episode of a show on Jersey? Because like weren't they introducing that Tracy Lynn and somebody else?
Oh yeah, Tiki Barber.
Yeah, no, like, and then like Tracy Lynn and this other lady was going to be.
Yeah, I think Joe's saying there was supposed to be a second friend of. Yeah, this season.
Really?
But she never really came through. Wasn't she in the first episode, Joe?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What was her name?
Just that. And then she was also on the episode where they all visited Dolores's townhouse. And then that's
the brunette, the friend. She kind of seemed like she was hanging around.
Yeah, that short lady.
Yeah, I know who he's talking about.
Yeah, like what happened to that chick? Like,
who is it? I'm so stupid right now.
I can't remember her name.
She's so irrelevant. That's why we can't remember her name.
So she was on this season, the first episode.
Yes.
Like,
she must be relevant.
She was introduced as like Dolores's friend in the townhouse.
Oh.
But like she kind of didn't seem to be bothered in the conversation that was happening. But also, I mean, there's a group of grown women yelling at each other about the difference between what really happens and a rumor. So
I know.
How involved of that can you be?
Yeah. So I guess we don't really know / we don't really care about what happened to that lady.
I mean, yeah. I don't know why they're trying to bring other. I mean, I don't know why they had to bring in Tiki Barber's wife. I mean, I thought it maybe be cool, but like she didn't fit in very well. But I didn't think we needed new cast members. Do you?
I mean, I didn't mind it. It was certainly refreshing to have another person outside of
True.
Jackie and Marge that's kind of challenging
Plus,
Teresa. Now she's definitely not the I'm gonna roll up my sleeves and fight kind of chick, but I don't know. It was refreshing. Like, I wouldn't mind having her as another friend of next season, but I wouldn't have a heartbreak if she doesn't come back either.
Yeah. I mean, for a while, I didn't even want Teresa to come back. I go back and forth with her, but like, I like this entire cast. I didn't get in. I miss having like, Jacqueline and Carolyn and like, that family on TV. Maybe not so far as Housewives, but I did like the Manzos, like the spinoff and stuff. And I liked seeing Jackie and Chris. And I don't know why, like
You like Kim D back?
Keely, like Kathy Keely and all, like, Teresa doesn't talk to them. That's her immediate family left after the, parents died.
I
It's
still
like,
find she's so sweet.
I know. I don't know. Like, I love the fact that like Kathy, her sister, and all, like they were just really like they really were about the family. And I don't know why Teresa.
Well, I think there was something that separated Melissa and Kathy now, so I think that also is. So, because they've said that they don't talk on Watch What Happens Live. Melissa was asked that she talked to Kathy and Rosie, and she said no. So,
Yeah. Well, their parents, like I know that their parents, like old school, the old Italian family, like they didn't talk, brother and sister. So like their mom didn't talk to their mom. You know what I mean? In the Italian families, they won't fucking talk for 50 years. Like they hold grudges. Like my grandmother didn't talk to her sister. They were 90 years old and they weren't talking still. Like
I think that's a cultural thing too. Like,
yeah, it is.
when
They
you come
just,
from a cultural background, like that's normal to not talk to
yeah,
somebody
and they
for
don't even
that
talk
long.
to us now. They didn't even talk to us after my grandma died. They
And
just like really.
it's like oh, I'm trying to think of the right word, but it's generational thing, right? Like I've had friends where their parents didn't talk, but they wanted to break the cycle, so they communicate as a little group together. But then with my family, like none of us really talk. It's never really been a thing. Like even now, I have 6 siblings. I don't talk to any of them.
Yeah, you did tell me that. I
Yeah,
have.
like
Well,
None of them.
I mean, my sister and I try, but like we went through a period um in the last few years where we didn't talk at all, and she had a child and everything, and I never met the kid until like our grandma died, and then we were kind of forced to be together. Like we would have birthdays and everything where I would tell my mum just don't invite me because I'm a non-confrontational person. I probably don't sound like I'm not, but I'm like I hate confrontation. It really bothers me. I like to stay out of the way, and I don't. I'm not that person to feed into somebody's BS. So if that's the type of person you are, like I tend to keep to myself for my own sanity. And I think a lot of people do that, you're so used to these groups of people you've been around for years or whatever. And if people ask you for advice and you give them the best advice and they still keep asking for the same thing, you kind of get sick of hearing the same answers. Which,
Yeah.
and that's why you tend to
Self-preservation.
just back away.
Yeah.
that's like I love when the same people ask me over and over. So what really happened? So what's really going on? What really happened? There has to be something else. And I'm like, please don't make me say it again.
That's not
Like,
everyone's business either.
well, I mean, yeah, like, nobody's ever going to understand the hurt that I feel over this situation. So, and the shit that I had for 6 years before I met y'all, what I went through, like trying to get over it. So, like, I think people trying to like you know, people keep asking me what the situation and why does it bother me so bad and blah 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 blah. It's like, you don't agree with me. I know I have to get over it. I can't get over it. It's the biggest, you know, it's like my other half of soul is missing, you know, like she was the other, it's like she was she was half of my soul, and then she destroyed the other half. Like she destroyed my half and then took her half away. So that's what it feels like. And it's like, there's no resolve for it because
I'm so sorry.
But it's like, you know,
So sorry.
Earlier today, somebody, like one of our friends was like, I don't think she was dismissing it, but like I was explaining that I was nervous about New York, that God forbid if she really wanted to, she could show up and make my life miserable and ruin something for me. Just her presence in general. And somebody was like, that is so far-fetched. And I'm like, but is it really? How is it far-fetched when we go to the same places all? It's the same, you know what I mean? This is not a small place. I could go to Wawa. I mean, like if we were all going out to the Highland and she heard I was there, she would go. If we were going to, like, you know what I mean? Like if she
and
really,
it's harder in smaller communities.
and all I was saying that, like, I'm just nervous. I called, I just wanted to make sure that she was not going to be there. my sister promised me. She even told my sister that she loves me and she's proud of me, and she would never do that to me. And she even wanted to make sure that I knew she was sorry about my dog, which to me, I was like, that's nice. You know, so like, hopefully she does feel that way. And if she
But
doesn't,
everyone needs a bit of validation in how they feel, like, because everyone's always valid in their feelings. And I think people tend to think like, well, you're not supposed to feel that way because of, and it's like, no, you can still feel that way even 10 years from now. Like
I don't
you with your
choose it.
friends, you know, it happened ages ago, but you're still valid in how you feel because that for you, that was a deep rooted friendship.
Yeah.
And for
And
people to question how you feel about it is, in one way, like it shows or it feels like they don't care.
it really does. And I know that it's, people say like, and it's not like she did something, you know, it was a lot of stuff. But then when I walked away from her, I did not talk about it. I was done. I walked away. I was like, okay, we're not doing this anymore. But I didn't continue to do everything in your power to like destroy her. I just stopped. I just didn't do anything. And, you know, I don't know. Like, if you hate me that much that you need to still talk about, like, just don't even talk about me at all. But like, you know, like, she has no reason to hate me. I didn't do anything to her. She did it. So, you know,
But that
like,
could be down to her own guilt and her own insecurities too. Like, and that's not me defending this person. It's just like,
oh
I
no,
know
I would
from
love to
my
have a
experience,
conversation with
people
her.
do that.
I want to have a
Yeah.
conversation with her and make me understand. If I'm wrong, make me understand, and then maybe I'll get over it. Maybe it'll help my soul heal. Because
Yeah.
I don't understand, you know. But whatever.
And even if you're right, just having the conversation may help your heart heal. I just think
I don't know what else it's going to take. Like, I didn't realize the other day something with my I didn't realize that that coming up was going to do what it did to me the other day. And, you know, I stopped talking to my sister for an entire day over it. And it's like, she's like, something's wrong with you. Well, no shit. I told you that I got you to stop talking to her or bring her over here and make her come here when I'm here and make her fucking say it to my face and let's talk about it. And then maybe I'll stop. I don't know what else to do. I went to my pastor. I've been to fucking therapy. I have talked to him blue in the face. I have tried to like rationalize it, blame both of us, forgive her in my soul, you know, but it
But
just
some
never
people
feels right.
just can't. Some people can't answer your questions or give you what you need in that space, right? Like, and
Yes.
as frustrating as that is, like, and I
Oh, I
totally
don't want,
agree. It's
there's
so
nothing anybody can do.
frustrating. But like
There's
how I
nothing
said to
anybody can do to
you,
help me.
like I've said
Nothing.
to you in past conversations, like it took my ex-husband stalking me for 5 years after he left our relationship, then coming back around to admit everything he did to me.
Did it help?
Yeah, like for me, it helped, but in one way, I already knew I was right, like, because
Yeah.
yeah, how I am, but I already knew that I was right. And then other people, once he said what he said, came back around and all said, well, we're sorry. Well, that's great for yous. I'm glad yous feel better now that the truth has come out. But it doesn't make me feel better that
Mhm.
yous were my friends and ran away when I needed yous the most. But I'm also of that mindset, like, I don't need you to be around if you can't validate how I feel in that time when I'm hurt. Because I'm one of those people, I'll be hurt for like a minute and
Yeah.
then I'm over it, unless you come back around and wind me up about it.
Yeah.
And even then, like, I'm still very conscious, and like, it is because I am black, but I am very conscious of how I act in public because of it. Like, if somebody came up to me in public and was yelling in my face about a situation, like, I can't go off. I don't have that.
Would that really even happen? People have the balls
Yeah.
to do that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well,
Get the fuck out
there,
of here.
there are people who, because they think they have the right way to do it, that's it, right? They're so self-entitled
And what do they
that
think
they
you're
think
going
they
to do?
have the
Nothing?
right.
That
Yeah,
really
a lot
Drag
of the
me,
happens?
time.
Mimi. Drag me.
Yeah. And like, for me, I'm like, okay, but I'm one of those people, like, I'm so sweet that I will give you a cavity because I will love you up so much that you will feel so horrible for everything you've done to me. Because I'm petty.
But
So
like,
I'll
I mean,
be
I
petty
can't like
that
you.
way.
Like, I just can't imagine somebody making something up that you did when you didn't really do anything. You know what I mean? Like, what could they possibly like?
Well, everyone said I was cheating on my ex-husband when I
Fucking
was
none of
sick,
their business.
and laid up in bed. If I'm cheating with everybody
Tell
else and
them.
not my husband, like,
Are they under the covers? Do they see your dick going
yeah,
his?
and that's what I'd say. But for me, that doesn't bother me because you can think what you want about me. Like, I know who I
Prove
am.
it.
And like, I think that's the main thing. Like, as long as you know who you are and the people you trust the most around you know who you are, that's all you really need for validation. And that's just my personal opinion. Like, I've always felt like that because I've had to tackle so much on my own. And like, my mum is my main support in my whole life. So I'm used to people making things up about me.
Oh, like make up things about me all you want, but not my best friend, not the
Like,
person,
it
not the
doesn't,
person.
yeah.
I mean, come on. And most of it's true. I've told everybody I am honest about what I did in my past. So I'll tell you my truth. I don't need you making shit up that's not true about it. Like, I'm serious. I was the worst of the worst. How much worse could you possibly make me look? And you still managed to fucking find worse shit to say about me. You know what I mean? Like, how do you? I just don't. I don't understand. Like, I really wish she would just tell me to my face that she hated my goddamn guts secretly and just hung out with me for what reason? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. It couldn't be because she was on drugs, because that didn't give her any more drugs. It couldn't be because she was using me for anything, because we had whatever. So what was I doing for you to systematically, like, for months and months and months, steal from me and talk about me and lie and try to fuck my husband and do all this crazy shit for no reason?
But
And then
again, it
steal my
could
husband's
come down to
wallet.
just being jealous of you, Krista, because you own who you
Jealous
are, and you're.
of what? My fucking
that-
drug addict, felony, fucking prison sentence, fucking
No,
drug
but
addiction. What the fuck was she jealous about? Get the
no,
fuck
but
out of here.
but people can be jealous for ridiculous reasons.
Then why
Like,
are you my friend?
but they don't know in themselves
Okay, say
that
that's
they're
the case.
jealous.
Say that's the case. I swear I want to call her right now and have this and put her in. I want to have a mediation.
No, you don't.
No, I need mediation because honestly, like, maybe you fucking, like, maybe if I got her to fucking have somebody to mediate it, like, maybe I need somebody to, like, tell us both, like,
I think
honestly.
why you could see Teresa's side, because you're seeing it as what was done to you,
Right.
with Margaret. So
Mhm.
it makes sense how you're more relating to
That's
Teresa.
why. Yeah.
You've had like a situation where somebody's talked about you. In our minds, it's not the same, but in your mind, maybe it does seem like maybe
It's the same.
to you.
To me, it's the same.
Yeah.
It's loyalty. It just comes down to, like, I
I
feel that you didn't have my back. Well, I mean, there's a lot more with me and her. I'm trying to find the last message that.
Yeah. No, I can totally see you were putting yourself in Teresa's spot, I think. And
Oh yeah, it makes me nuts.
Like,
It
you
makes
can relate.
yeah.
Well, absolutely.
Like,
And I
more,
think it might be just like a Jersey thing too. Like I think our attitude, like we just have to shift our attitude a little bit. You know what I mean? Like we have
You
kind
guys,
of
from what I get, you guys wear your emotions like right on that sleeve.
yeah. You
You
can't.
know, and a
all
lot
you
of
do
the
is look
world
at my
isn't
face.
like
I don't.
that.
Yeah, I can't hide my emotions no matter what. You can tell when I'm annoyed. You can tell when I'm bored. You can tell when I'm. You can tell when I'm impatient. You can tell when I'm high. You can tell fucking when I'm upset.
Hey Mocha, can I ask a question?
Sure.
Okay, and certainly feel free to not answer it. Um, at what point did you decide to forgive your ex-husband if you did?
Oh, I forgave him when he first left because it was for me.
But how did you do it? Did you work through it? Like, how were you able to get rid of the toxic?
But see, it's because I already knew who he was. Like, who
Yeah.
he became wasn't the person I fell in love with. Who I fell in love with was an amazing human being who would give anyone the shirt off his back. He cared so much about his community, his people, and then a habit took control of that and his own insecurities. Where I've always been confident in myself, which comes off as being cocky. And I understand that that's frustrating for other people.
No, I mean it's. I
But
told you I like that about you.
but that's my mindset. Like, I've had such a hard life that I've had to continuously propel myself forward. And if I did stay with him, I wouldn't be talking to you guys. Honestly, I wouldn't even be alive. I would never have met you amazing people because being with him would have eventually killed me a lot earlier than I should have been.
Yeah.
And I learned that I had to forgive because, like, it also stems from my dad. My dad left me when I was 2,
Mhm.
and I had to forgive him um, around the time I was 17 or 18. And I guess for me, it's because I can see outside myself. I can
Yeah.
see that these people are hurt, they are broken, they don't feel like they belong anywhere or belong with anyone. So they tend to like screw things up for themselves thinking they don't deserve it. Where I know I deserve better because I've worked hard to have better. And that's where my forgiveness for other people come from. And I've always believed, like, as much as it hurts and how angry you can be at somebody, if you can take a step back and have a look at the situation and then say, like, okay, well, I don't agree with you, but I don't have to be your friend to put up with your BS anymore, or you don't have to be a part of my life, but I'm going to forgive you for myself healing. Because
I
if I
wanted
didn't
to.
forgive people for my own self healing, like,
Mhm.
I also wouldn't be as calm as what I am. Like, I'd still be like how Krista gets, you know? And that's not a dig at you, Krista. But
No,
I
but
was like,
seriously,
I led with my emotions too. Like, I would spin out on my emotions so quickly. Like, I would have frequent breakdowns because I didn't know how to contain my emotions when I was younger.
hmm I only freak out. Like honestly, like I
Yeah.
don't. I only freak out when her name comes up or when I think about it. Like honestly, like it's more hurt than anything. But
Yeah,
like
like, that's the only time I've ever seen you get hot.
there's no like there's no looking for answers with her. Trust me. I have
Yeah.
tried to give every excuse of why she's the way she is. I know her parent childhood, all that crap. But at some point, the things she was doing had nothing to do with needing it, being a drug addict, or it was just things that could literally put you away for a long, like doing things to people that could completely ruin their lives for no reason.
But
Like,
everyone's situation's different too. Like, if you still want to feel hurt, like, that's your prerogative.
I
Like, you
don't
don't
want
have
to
to
feel hurt. I
apologize.
don't want to feel
No,
hurt.
but
I want it
no,
to
I
go
know you
away.
don't. But I'm saying, like, in general, like, if that's how you feel, that's okay to feel that way. Like, not everyone has, like, you don't have a timeline of like grief or guilt or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm
Yeah,
probably
it would
saying
be a
it
lot
wrong, but
easier to
yeah,
fucking forgive her. Believe me,
yeah, right. But
it
like,
really
and
would.
like
But
women
like,
do have this tendency to, like, we want to not fix it, but like finish the puzzle, right? Like, we
yeah,
want to see the whole picture, the whole landscape of like why this happened as
that's
women,
all I
because
need. That's
yeah,
all I need.
that's how our brains
All
work.
I need.
Yeah.
Wait,
And
so
she'll
all
never do
so
it.
so So all you need is to finish the puzzle.
No, yeah, I need her to explain and make it make sense to me why everything happened the way it happened.
So what if that never happens?
Then I'm going to feel like this for the rest of my life, probably. I'll be hurt for the rest of my life. That's it. And I've already kind of accepted that. But I mean, at some point, like, I feel like I could have a conversation with it. It might work now. I just want her to make it make sense to me. I want her to explain why she did what she did, explain the lies, because you're not going to lie to my face. You can't tell me something happened when it didn't to my face. I mean, you can tell everybody else that. You can believe it yourself. But that's the thing. She'll never be able to explain the things that happened because they were lies. And she'll never have an excuse. Like,
So
unless you can tell me she hates me. Tell me you hate me.
I mean, can I ask a follow-up
Sure.
question?
Yeah.
I don't mean this to be a therapy session.
No, I don't care. Trust me, Joe. Fucking trust me.
No,
if you're
but-
being a jerk, it's not. It doesn't bother me.
No, but let's say she's sitting in front of you right now, and
Mhm,
she
mhm.
either tells you what you want to hear,
Mhm.
or she tells you the exact opposite, or she
Mhm.
tells you something that you didn't expect, or she just tells you things that you absolutely think are lies. Then like, if any of those scenarios actually happen,
Mhm.
do you
Well-
think you would find resolution in any of those scenarios?
I mean, it all depends. Like, I mean, I don't know what she could say. Like, why did you steal my husband's wallet? Why did you steal $400 from me? I mean, what could she say about that? Or why did your husband do all this? Or why did you tell people I was in prison for this certain thing when it was really this thing? Like, what could she really say? So I'm sorry. Like,
She could say I'm sorry. She could
that's
say
fine. I'm sorry. I
no,
wish she would.
Well, she could also say that's not true. I didn't do that.
But
She
she
could
did.
also say, well, that. See, that's the thing. It's like
I have proof.
right, but that's the thing. When you have these conversations, you have what you believe are facts, and you may have
Mhm.
receipts for them. She
Mhm.
may also have her own sets of what she thinks are truths, and she may
Mhm.
also potentially have things that she believes are receipts. But I guess at
Tell
the end,
me, what receipts does she have? Tell me, what did I do?
but
Buy
then
her cigarettes every day, pay for
no,
her kids' fucking school.
right.
Come
But at the end of the day, as much as you have the prerogative to want to know the information from her, she also has the prerogative to not talk to you about
Oh, I
these.
know.
And these are the things that you
She don't have that.
unfortunately don't have control over. But what you do have control over is how you want to deal with this going forward. And if you can accept
I
that this is going to
can't
be something that you're going to live with because you can't
resolve it.
well that, but really, I think that the and that's why I asked Mocha. It's like having an ex-husband like stalk you for 5 years, that could be really traumatic.
Mhm.
When I asked her, like, when she forgave him, there was a switch, right? Because like she was doing it for herself. It doesn't
Mhm.
sound like
I
you
want to do it for myself,
right, but I mean, but you haven't forgiven her.
I don't know how, Joe. I don't know how. But how else am I supposed to
Right.
forgive her? I tried.
But
I don't know
I
what's
don't.
going to forgive
It's
her.
not about forgiving her though. Like that's the thing. It's just accepting that what she did to you. I think that's the
How?
point. It's like,
I've
yeah,
accepted
but
a
you've
lot
got
of
to.
things in my life. This is the one thing I'm
Yeah,
having
I
trouble
know.
accepting.
I
Trust
know.
me, I want to.
Like, and like I get where you're coming from, but I also understand.
It's not a
what you're
choice
saying.
anymore.
Like,
It's really not a
if you
choice
can't,
anymore.
if you can't fix
I
the
suffer.
like, if you can't finish the puzzle, then
I
how
have
do
to
you
keep her.
progress in life?
I don't. I just fucking
Like,
walk. I have no
that's
friends.
pretty
I don't
much what
go
you're
around
saying,
her.
isn't it, Joe? Like,
Yeah.
I do progress in my fucking life. I go on with my
Yeah,
fucking life.
no,
She
like,
fucking creeps back into my friend's house, my family's life,
Krista,
and runs her damn mouth. I don't fucking do that. She does.
Krista, like, we're not trying to upset you.
I'm just saying. I'm not yelling at you. She creeps
Yeah,
back.
I
over
know.
me. I don't
I
fucking
know.
do it. Like,
I know. I
I
think
don't
it's
choose this.
Yeah,
I
like,
don't choose
we
her
know you don't
talking shit
choose
to my
this.
family. I don't choose her to fucking say the shit she does. I don't choose her to keep fucking trying to destroy people. And I don't choose that. I walk the fuck away. Sorry, but like, I'm so tired of people not fucking getting it. Not you guys, but like, I
No.
disengage. I stay in my
Yeah.
own little bubble. I don't
think-
even walk around the town I live in with my
I
friends.
think that's why there's that frustration, because other people won't back away and just leave you be.
Like, I don't want to
Right.
hear what she does to you anymore. I don't want to hear what she's done to people. Like, that just makes me
Yeah.
mad that when she does that. And like, I'm still heartbroken 6 years later. I'm not okay. I don't hate her. I fucking love her. I hate who she was.
And
I
that's
hate what
why
she
you're still
did.
hurt. But that's why
And then
you
people
still
don't get it. I don't hate her because I never loved her. I hate her because I
Yeah.
fucking loved her.
But that's it, right? Like, you're saying it right there.
Yeah, that's that. I
It's
know that. I
because you
say it all the
love
fucking
her.
time. I've said it all the time. I've never not denied that.
Yeah. But like,
here it is,
the
right
fact
here.
is, like, at least you know this about yourself, and like,
Yeah, I know.
you know, like, it just, even for you to say what you say like that, like, that shows so much, like, inner growth and
But I
love
say
for
that from.
yourself.
I literally said it from day one, though.
Yeah. But like, for us as like your friends from here, like, you know, this is such a big thing, and like, a lot of people don't just say those things, Crystal. You know, like,
What?
you're honest about who you are, and you could give two F's what anyone else thinks, and that's why you're an amazing human being, because you own your stuff.
And nobody else. See,
Like,
this is how evil she is. I don't know if you can see it, but like,
No, we can't.
you can't see it. But like, I mean, come on. This is me, little sentences, and then it's just like, I didn't see that part either. Oh, you fucking whore.
Thank you for trusting us by telling us this.
Huh?
Thank you for trusting us by telling
Well,
us.
I mean, like, I feel bad that I get upset about it, but it's just like, I know what you guys think, but I know you guys don't know everything, but it's like, when I tell you my soul, it's like, it's not like, I know she's not my sister, but like, when you go through something like when her sister committed suicide, that was probably the thing that broke us. And then you spend 27 years with somebody every day. You know, we were in business, like, you know, we grew up together, like, you know, we were doing things. We weren't always assholes, but like, you know, we were sisters, we were friends, we did things. It was like the last 10 years, I would see her do things to other people and not think she was doing it to me. And I was like, wow, like, but then when it got close to my wedding, I was, you know, the biggest thing is when I went away and I trusted her to take care of things and not, you know, and not embellish the people talking and make it worse than it was. And she turned my situation and just, you know, not that people really believed her, but like, you know, you don't know who's going to believe what. Like, my stuff's sealed. So you really can't like go back and say, oh, she was in prison for this or that. I'll tell you why. But like, for her to make it a drug thing when it wasn't, or to make it into something it wasn't, when you're my best friend and I need you as your support. And when we have a third best friend whose boyfriend's kicking them out of their house and she's crying because she doesn't know why, and you're inviting her to come live with you, but the real reason he's kicking her out is because you're fucking him. Oh, best friend, come live with me. Oh, I don't know why he's leaving me. Oh, I don't know why he's leaving you. Because you're screwing him, Melissa. Like, Michelle does not care who, if it's Melissa, if it's Michelle, if it's me, if it's Renee, if it's Holly, whoever. She doesn't care. It doesn't matter. Like, if she wants somebody and something, when you invite your best friend to live with you because her boyfriend's kicking her out, but the whole reason he's kicking her out is because you're screwing him and you're making that man think you're going to be with him. That was when I was like, oh my God, I can't do this anymore. And I was like, is she doing this stuff to me? Like, I was like, if she could do that to her, I was like, now I said something to the one person and it was like literally a floodgate of receipts. And they're like, how did you not know? How did you not know she was doing this to you or that to you? It's like, if you thought I knew, would you really think I'd be here all the time? Would we be like integrating our lives together if I thought she was like, you know, doing the things she was doing? Like, how do you sleep with your best friend's boyfriend and then like have her move in with you and cry with her knowing that the whole reason they're broken up is because of you.
It's a little close for me.
It's crazy. Like, that's crazy. I was like, I can't even be around this. And I said, Melissa, I can't do this anymore. I feel I don't even want to be a part of this. Like, it was horrible to begin with. It was sad to begin with. And then I'm like, you don't even want him. Like, you didn't even want him. Michelle did. You didn't want him. Like, the girl didn't even want him. And like, Michelle didn't even want it. Nobody even really wanted him. And like, why would you? It was so sad. It was like, you can't even. Oh, and by the way, I'm allowed to say her first name. I'm just not allowed to say her last name. And I'm allowed to talk to my personal friends. And for the cease and desist, I can have private conversations about her. I can't say her last name now. So don't be upset that I'm saying her first name and her sister's name. But like, it's just things. It wasn't just like she did one thing to me. It's not just Krista can't get over this one thing. It's a Krista issue. It was a combination of her whole entire life, and then doing it to me. And I don't know why. And I just don't know why. I really don't. I really have never gotten any answer from anybody.
But I think it's also too, like, you yourself don't understand that mentality because you're not that type of person, right? Like, you're
Right.
such an empathetic human being. The idea of screwing someone else over doesn't make any sense to you for any reason.
I mean, if I'm going to screw you over, I'm not going to pretend to be your friend.
Exactly.
Yeah,
like, you just gotta, if you're
yeah.
gonna do it, you gotta do it. Like, but that's
Right. Like, I'm not going to
You're
fucking
straight up
smile in your
about it.
face and watch you, she watches me go through the most screwed up. I learned every lesson you could think of in life, and when I'm finally getting to be happy and I meet a guy and I decide that I'm going to leave the situations I'm in and I'm going to meet this night with my husband and be a great, try to make better choices. Why? I mean, is it okay for you to then like, oh, no, you're not allowed to do that. Let's just ruin that for her. To me, that's what I don't get. I would have loved for her to fix her life and make better choices. I would have supported her all the way. I wouldn't have went behind her back and tried to ruin it for her.
Okay.
Like, I never even read these really.
Can I just ask, Erin, are you okay?
Yeah, just some of the stuff from my ex-husband cheated with my best friend. That's why.
Yeah, so it resonates with you.
It's horrible. It's like so horrible. And it's like, I had to tell her. I could not even like, well, one thing, like, it's happening, and then like they're coming, like Amy's coming, the girl's Amy, she's coming to me and crying to me, and I was like, I'm sorry, like,
Yeah.
I couldn't. I mean, it wasn't fair, and it was like, and I knew that she didn't want him.
And I think the hardest thing for most of us is like, because we're not those type of people, we try and understand that mentality, but we can't, because we would never do those things to other people, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's the hardest part, because like, I would never cheat on anybody. Why would I have to do like, for me, I've got to get up. I would walk out of the relationship instead of staying and cheating on somebody, because I'm like, well, that's just laziness.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I think it's lazy. If you're going to cheat, just get up and leave. Because what purpose does it serve you to stay in the same relationship that you're clearly not happy with if you feel like you need to cheat? But not everyone thinks that way either, like, oh, but I've got a good thing, but I'm just missing out on this part of my life.
Yeah, like, she's had good here. She's had, like, her marriage was in the very beginning good, but then it just turned toxic too. I don't even know how they're not in prison right now, really, but I guess there's a loophole when it comes to the mortgage thing. I don't know. There must be a loophole, because I didn't get my $6,000. 3 years ago. Like, close my loans, take my commission. Sure, why not? Sure. I mean, like, honestly, that was like way before like I even ended the friendship. Like, you know what I mean? That was like, oh god.
I love that you're like, I didn't get my 6,000.
I mean,
you sure you're not black, Krista?
Well, like, seriously, honestly, she stole my toothbrush. I'd like that back too. And my Tide Pods, they're expensive. She would take my Pods. I knew they were missing. Who goes and steals Tide Pods? Come on.
Hey, my husband left with clothes hangers that I specifically looked for, that where you could put a whole outfit together on them, and I never got them back. And everyone makes fun of me because I get angry about that specific thing that he took from me. Not all the money and the things that we had together, just the clothes hangers.
Well, yeah, and like, oh my God. And then, oh my God, we wore the same exact clothes, everything, same size, everything. She would not want to buy, like, I'm cheap. Like, I'll go to like Ross and stuff and get like, name brand stuff to be like a label whore, but not expensive. And then she would buy expensive stuff, but then she would like literally like still take my stuff. Like oh my God, she makes me nuts. Like
some people are just
no problem.
Like some people just take.
She would just sit here. She would like, all right, sitting here. I wouldn't care if you took any of my hair scrunchies, but she would like take it just to take it. And that's like on a smaller scale. And I laughed at that stuff. And come to find out, like, yeah.
Oh, what happened to Mocha?
Oh, so earlier, oh my God, I forget that we're still alive, but I can't really say something right now, and I didn't realize that I did it, but I wasn't ignoring a certain person earlier. I just we didn't have an opportunity to.
Well, we can get off live and then continue talking.
Hi, Mocha.
Yeah, we can.
Hello. Yeah. Yeah, like if you guys want to talk off, we can.
Wait, are you holding a toothbrush, Krista?
For me?
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
It's been really funny right now.
Oh, so that's not a toothbrush. Okay, sorry. I was like, does she need to brush her teeth? Like we
No. No, I was thinking that I was gonna I honestly feel like I could talk to her right now, and I feel like I keep looking at her DM.
No, let's not do that.
I mean, I did tell you the good stuff though, that what she said to my sister, that she was proud of me, and that make sure she tells me, like she kept saying, like, did you tell her? Did you tell her? I said I was sorry about her dog. Did you tell her? Did you tell her? Like, and my sister's like, yeah, I told her. She doesn't care, but she appreciates you saying that. Like,
Elaine's here.
is she?
Elaine just
Yeah,
popped in.
she's popping in and out, but she has to pop out.
Oh, I love Elaine.
Just like last night, Elaine. Whoop, whoop.
Oh my God, Joe. Do I have to now? Okay, do I have to work? Elaine is supposed to be my date and supposed to be my protector. Are you like trying to steal her from me?
I
What
think
Are you stealing?
No,
Are you stealing my date?
Elaine will protect both of us. We're talking.
She'll tag team.
You
Like,
guys
tag
have
team.
to convince Elaine's husband that you are protecting her.
I did. I said, tell your husband, don't worry. Mine's worried too. Like, we'll have each other. Don't worry about you guys in New York. Don't worry about it. I'm here.
No, I can't protect anyone. I'm too fragile.
Joe. Me too. I'm too fragile, Joe.
Girl, like if someone's out there with knives and guns, like I'm not a runner. Like I'm so fat, but like I'll try as hell to try to outrun you guys. Like
I can't listen. I can't scream. I'm not a screamer. I can't yell loud at all. Like I can't even attempt it. So like, don't leave it for me to be the one who screams. But I will have weapons. So weapons are good. I don't leave any.
I seen like a little clip where apparently, I think it was like Aquafina or something, and it's like I think it was in one of the movies, and it's like if you dance awkwardly in front of them, they won't
or start
want to
act crazy. If somebody runs up to you to like murder you, like start acting like a crazy person. Woo!
Yeah,
and they'd be like, nah, this one's not.
And I even heard one time like if you drop your pants, especially if a guy drops his pants in front of another guy, that just confuses them.
What? Can you tell me Mocha smoking a lot by the time this live's over?
Like that is so funny to me. Like, could you imagine seeing on the street like two men, one's got like weapons against the other one, and the other one's just like, I'm gonna drop my pants. Like, who would think of that? I know I wouldn't. I would be like,
but do you think
I'm
if
gonna
it's
drop my pants to get out of this awkward situation?
Why does that keep doing that? Well, yeah. So like my sister's a little bit crazy. So like her dude gets very angry with her, like really fast. Like she can make you go from 0 to 100. So like today it happened, and she starts dancing in front of him. She's like, motherfucker. And she starts like, and he's like, I'm gonna kill you. And she's like, go ahead, motherfucker. And she was like laughing and dancing. I was like, Shannon. I was like, he's gonna murder you. And she's like, no, the fuck he's not. And she's like, I'm gonna get on the table and dance. I was like, she's like, he ain't fucking my vibe up. I was like, Shannon, why are you dancing around the house? She's like, because it pisses him off. Like she's in pajamas. She's got her hair all messed up, and she's like, I'm going to dance around the house. Just piss him the fuck off. I was like, oh, my God. And it kind of worked because he was like, you know what? And he's like, I got to go because you are both fucking crazy, and I'm feeling like you are probably going to kill me. And he's like, so I'm just going to step out for now. I said, Carl, I'm laughing at her because I can't believe she's doing this. I'm scared for her. And he's like, well, she's been up for 2 freaking days screaming at me. And he's like, now I'm screaming back at her, and she wants to laugh and dance and think it's funny. I'm like, well, at least you aren't like choking each other out. You know? Yeah. Oh my God.
It's just so funny.
I just Johnny Depped us. I'm sorry. Have you guys been watching his thing?
I've seen bits of it.
Like I go off on tangents kind of like he does when I get confused, or I like forget what I'm saying, or I like
was anyone in the comment section of some of those lives?
What, last night or last night?
Yeah, the actual trial live.
Oh, I stopped commenting on the lives because there's that one moderator that was out to get me.
Wait, where? With who? With who?
Well, I was just saying, like in yesterday's live, I was like, Johnny Depp looks really tense. Like I'd want to help him out, like go to his hotel and release all his tension. And
I agree with you, Joe. I would go want to release his tension too.
And then this moderator actually was like, hey, we don't want to sexualize Johnny Depp, so I'm like, what? Like just going to his hotel room and giving him a massage?
This is when you do this, Joe.
That's releasing tension. Like why be perverse and go straight to what you think it is?
Everybody was talking about how hot and how much hotter he looks. The whole chat was like, I am so obsessed with him right now.
So you know what? I felt targeted. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna give her the satisfaction. Huh?
You specifically felt targeted?
Yeah. So I'm like, you know what? No, because she literally at me. It's like knows that. Yeah,
I feel targeted by the Nightbots. Okay.
I felt targeted, and if I wanted to be explicit, I would have said it explicitly. But all I said is I wanted to release this tension. That could be through so many means, like. What
you might want to give him a foot rub. Who knows?
Right. Honestly, like a foot rub, a shoulder massage.
She pooped in his bed. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. It's not like
how much do you have to hate someone to do that, though?
I know. And she said it was real poop. Did you see the TMZ thing?
I haven't seen it yet.
It's definitely not dog poop. It is human poop, probably from a man or her.
Human fecal matter. That's what
it was. Huge. It was huge.
Because I will say I watched. I started watching it and they were doing his character. His character thing.
Yeah.
And the amount of people in the chat who just didn't understand why he was taking so long to explain.
Yeah,
how he became Johnny Depp was just hilarious.
I know.
They're like, it's a yes or no answer, and then there's people who are intelligent that are like, no. What's actually happening is he's trying to explain how he is and became Johnny Depp and how he's a good person.
Right. And
people are just so aggravated by the fact that it's not a yes or no. It's a TV thing. It was so funny.
He can say that. I don't care. He can mumble all that. I was enjoying it. He could go on and on for longer if I was completely mesmerized.
So, Chris, a question.
Yes.
Okay, based on your observation of the human fecal matter, do you think it could have come from Amber Heard?
Wait, what? On the fecal matter, what?
Based on your observation of that picture of the human
Mhm.
fecal matter, do you
Mhm.
think it would have come from Amber Heard, or do you
Yes.
think it would have come? Really? But you said it's big. Do you think she typically has that type of size of fecal matter? Like, how would we know?
No, I think that she's really healthy and she poops huge, healthy poops like a normal person.
Uh,
Honestly, who else would have done it? A guy?
well,
Right?
Who else
I don't
pooped?
know. Maybe,
He said,
maybe.
wait. He said it was hers. He knows what her poop looks like. He said it was hers. That's right. He
Wait.
filed for divorce over
Johnny
it.
Depp said that?
This
Huh?
is hilarious.
I can't believe you guys didn't hear about this.
I don't understand.
Like, this
why-
is just hilarious.
This was the whole reason he filed for divorce. Like the main thing is the poop.
Yeah. Like, I knew that part, but it was just like, just the way you guys are talking. Like, mind you, it is 10 a.m. for me.
It's
So
poop.
this is like a funny
Like,
conversation.
Somebody
for 10
left
a.m.
Johnny poop. Johnny Depp poop. I just couldn't believe that somebody left Johnny Depp poop in his bed. I was like, of all people, Johnny Depp got poop left in his bed by his
Well,
girlfriend.
look, with her doing this, now guys know women do actually do that.
That's great. Not
especially-
who? What women?
Especially pretty women.
No. Well,
Quote
one.
unquote pretty
Her.
women.
No.
What, pretty-
I'm,
Look,
saying-
I'm still
pretty
under the
women
assumption that
leaving
women
fecal
don't
matter?
do that.
I'm not pooping in somebody's bed. Sorry. I can't. I don't even like to poop in front of my husband. Oh my God. But like you really have
so based on your observation, you said it was healthy. So like, was it
Yes.
was
like
it fully brown, or was it a mix of brown and yellow?
No, it was like this. It was like this thick in the bed,
Uh-huh.
covered up, and then there was like it was poop. It was like, all right, say if you pooped and you didn't land in the toilet, but it was
Oh,
like
that's it. Oh, like, is there like a conic shape at the end, like just like
no, it was like no, it wasn't curled up or anything. And the covers were over it, so the dog didn't put the. She says the dog did it. Well, what did the dog do? Put the covers over the poop on your side, John, on Johnny's side under his
Well,
pillow.
no. So see, that's the thing. That's what I heard Johnny Depp confirm. Like, based on him
He said it's her
knowing
poop.
the dog and like that the cleaning lady who's been with him for 30 years. Like,
Yeah.
it was definitely not the dogs. Like, the dogs could sue for fecal defamation. You know, like,
I mean, he's really suing for that too, isn't he?
oh, I don't know.
All right, I was confused on who was on trial yesterday. On all honesty, are they both on trial?
Yeah, but no, it was Johnny Depp's defamation case first. So that's
Against-
why,
The defamation against her or him?
yeah, against Amber.
So he's
It's on the article.
he's defending.
filing for for a defamation suit against her.
Can we
Mhm.
read Coffee Buzz's comment?
Yeah, Coffee Buzz is killing it. Like,
Oh wait,
between
where
her
is
and
she?
Joe.
Where? You guys? Where?
Coffee Buzz. I'm not reading it.
I'm with you, Erin. No, thanks.
Coffee Buzz. Why don't you just call us?
Let me read it. Amber Turd. We
Yeah,
need
you
a
read it,
turd
Karen.
detective.
Hold on, I'm trying
Yeah.
to get to where it gets funny.
I
Okay.
mean, Coffee Buzz, are you volunteering to be the turd detective?
She's a turd detective, she says. We found the turd detective. Amber Turd. Oh my God. I just saw that. Amber Turd. Like, I mean, come on.
Yeah, but it could also maybe Amber Heard was the one who orchestrated it, but maybe she had someone defecate.
She
on
brought
her
someone
behalf.
in.
Yeah. So,
I
like,
mean,
hey,
She paid for
She-
their services.
yeah.
I mean,
You know, there are some interesting people out there that love this thing
The
called
poop?
scat.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, you know, like getting poop on their face, or like eating poop.
oh, that's not what they were doing, though. That was not what they were doing. Oh my God, no.
No, but
But someone can hire someone to like poop.
for that specifically. Yeah.
Do you know why she said she did it? Because he threw a
I
wine.
think no. Well, I think she's like denying it, right?
No, she said the dogs did it. Yeah, but she said, Well, the dogs did it, but the whole fight started because he wanted to leave and they got in a fight. So he threw a wine glass at her and then he said she went and shit in the bed. But I mean,
Erin, what are your thoughts?
Can't talk.
I literally have to keep like muting myself because every time I look at Erin, it just makes me lose it even more because like I can see she's about to crack every time.
she's from Philly,
And then
but
I've got to
lives
mute
near
it
me,
because
so
I
I
laugh
don't know
so
how
loud.
shocked she could be.
Come on, Erin, let's bust out
She's
the
from-
truth. Bust
guys
it
don't know
out.
You guys don't know
Joyce,
that.
Let it all come out.
Do
Erin.
not let her fool
I'm just
you.
waiting
She's
for
from a
Coffee
place
Buzz
called
to
Delco.
reference.
Delco is crazy. Delco girls are crazy. Do not let her fool you. Where she's from, they drink a really crazy water there. Delco chicks are nuts. So don't let her fool you.
I'm just waiting for Coffee Buzz to quote Frozen and just say, "Let it go."
Let it go. I can't let it
Oh,
go.
you know, I have also heard that there are some people with interesting kinks about frozen turd.
Jeez.
Well, Joe, this one
Yeah.
wasn't Frozen.
It's
This one was
called-
I feel like
Yeah,
Erin
no,
and I are
it's-
in the wrong
it's-
conversation.
No, it's called a Kentucky Klondike bar. If you look
Oh,
at Urban Dictionary. So yeah, someone would take a food, freeze it, and then use it on their partner as a dildo.
Yeah, someone's got a better chance of paying me to wear a nappy than to
No.
do that stuff.
And then when the ice melts away, then there's another kinky thing that they do called a Panamanian petting zoo, where one of the partners
God.
would then like in a zoo where
I know
you
exactly
some
what Joe's saying,
animals
and that's
would-
why I'm just like, oh my god.
yeah when like
No, I don't. I am a freak. And tell me what I have never heard of that. What is that?
yeah
Is it
well
a
if you
YouTube
look
safe
it up on
conversation?
the yeah, so like you know those pets in the zoo that would like eat like corn on the ground.
Yeah.
Like the partner typically would eat like corn and like some indigestible items. So, like when the poop comes out, it has like some corn kernels. So like once the Kentucky Klondike bar melts, then one of the partners would then go and like forage and get some of those corn from the poop.
And do what with
The
it?
end. Eat.
I don't want to. Sorry, I'm good.
This is a great topic, guys.
Mm.
The more you know.
The more I know. It's like saying the more you know. Like a PSA goes up right now.
Like watching Erin and Krista's faces is just making me weak. Like I can't help but laugh because like I'm already laughing so hard when every time Joe goes to say something because I just know where he's going with.
I know, and I have to remember. Like I can't. Yeah, that yeah.
And then you and
Like,
Erin, like especially because
Is it
Erin's my
acceptable
type
for
of person.
YouTube?
Like she's just waiting for it, and she's just like, "Is it going to drop?" Okay, yep. Here it goes.
Joe went.
The thing is, where she's from, I don't know how she's shocked right now or laughing at us.
Because I moved here 7 years ago.
Oh well, that explains it.
I mean, I lived here when I was little. Moved back. I haven't lived here long enough.
Where did you move to though?
Connecticut. 20 years.
Oh well, that explains it. Yeah, Delco chicks are crazier than us.
No.
Yes, the
we're-
circle.
Erin,
It was
are
the
you-
circle. The circle on Netflix. That's where the girls from Delco.
Wait, Erin, are you joining us on Spilling Tea Live in New York?
I wish, but no. I can't.
I wish she was. We were gonna pick her up on the way
Wait,
there.
why couldn't you get on the same train ride as Philly Diva?
Live.
And me.
Huh?
I can't say on the live. I'll tell
Yeah.
you later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Well, any thoughts on the recent fecal discussion that we just had?
Besides that, it's disgusting.
Do you want me to pull it up for you guys? Do you want to see what it looks like?
Thoughts, concerns, violent reactions.
My concerns are that like he might have some type of like, I don't know, like fecal poisoning maybe in his bed or something. Or maybe they should have taken the DNA from the fecal matter to prove whose it was, because they didn't do that for some reason. So it's probably a hearsay, he said, she said thing with the fecal matter. But
what I don't get is like why. I mean, yeah, okay, there's poop on the bed. Take a picture of it, but then you could just take out the sheets, and then he could have taken the rest of his stuff out. Like it's just poop.
it's just poop. My wife just pooped in my bed because she hates me that much.
No. I was married for a decade, never in front of him even at all.
But like just doing it, like she didn't even do it like as an accident and like, oops, I'm sorry, I pooped the bed. Like she was like, fuck this motherfucker. I am putting poop in his bed and it's going to be huge. I don't want to let him find it. And he's just like, that's it. That's it.
But,
I don't know how the poop did it, but
but from the testimony, wasn't Johnny Depp like already planning to get his stuff from that penthouse to move to another place?
I think at that time they had already like gone to that point of like we're separate, like we're leaving.
Yeah. So like why can't he just get his stuff like from around the house, or like the stuff that he needs to get?
It's the principle, Joe. It's the principle that she did it.
Yeah, if someone did that to me, like I'm fine.
I don't think he's worried about his shit. I think he's pissed that she did it. I think that was the last straw for him.
But like you said, Crystal, like how much do you have to hate a human being?
I mean, really, I kept saying in Emily's thing, did these people ever love each other? Like they seemed like they fucking hated each other. Like why were they together for so long? Like there was nothing good from what they're saying. They're literally
but the thing is, we've only heard of Johnny's side of the story, but I mean, based on the testimony so far, it seems like he felt stuck in this relationship.
Hell no. Well, he couldn't financially leave. He couldn't find another place to live. He didn't have a career. I mean, he was convinced that he loved her. Maybe.
I have no idea. Like maybe
I just feel like how do you stay with somebody when like literally you're at the point where they're shitting in your bed and you're filing for divorce the next day? I mean, they might have been separated for a while before that, but
my problem is that he knew what her looked like.
Well, yeah, like I guess I mean I think I would know what my husband's looks like, but like I don't know.
Wait, why would you? Wouldn't your husband flush the thing before you even get a chance to look at it?
I mean, but I would hope that. I mean, I'm sure at some point I would have seen it.
Wait, so at some point your husband wouldn't flush the toilet, so you would see the poop? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like I'm sure at some point in 8 years he probably forgot to flush it. That I can think, maybe not, but I think I would know. I mean, maybe I wouldn't. I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't. I don't know. He's adamant that it's hers.
That's what I mean. You have seen it more than once.
Well, maybe like Joe said, maybe they had a sexual thing with it, so he would know what it looks like.
No, that's the.
But there are some couples that go in and have a look after each other. Just saying,
right?
Like there are weird people in this world with. I shouldn't say weird. There are unique people in this world who have unique taste and kinks that are not for everybody.
Yeah, and I just gave you guys 2 examples. Do you guys want me to repeat them?
No.
Yeah, give me some more.
Okay. No.
I mean, is it after hours? Are we like when we aren't after hours yet?
No. Oh my gosh.
I think we've been on after hours for a bit now.
Is YouTube even going to accept this?
I mean, YouTube accepts my videos. They probably won't algorithm it. They're not going to put it through the algorithm.
Okay. Well,
I mean, I say.
I didn't know. So, guys, so just to confirm, Johnny Depp actually said that he recognizes whose poop that was.
Yes.
I thought he only confirmed that it wasn't the dog's.
And the very first filing, it didn't even come up yesterday, but the very first filing that was on, I guess TMZ had found it. He specifically stated it was not the dog's. That's impossible. And it was absolutely Amber Heard's. He said Amber's or her friends. He said he wasn't sure, but it was one of the. He said absolutely was one of theirs.
Wait, so if Johnny Depp, so
He
did
must-
Johnny Depp filed for divorce because of the poop being the last straw?
He said that was the last straw. Yeah.
So if he recognizes the poop and the poop was the last straw, then that must have meant he's seen her poop before. So
I mean, yeah, 6 years they've been together.
right. So how bothered is he actually with
Joe, it's in his bed as a not as a joke, as to be mean.
11 years, I couldn't tell you what my exes look like. I'm just saying.
I think he at this point was like, this bitch is disgusting and she really hates me. I gotta go. She just pooped in my bed. I don't think he could ever get past that. To me, that is the most, I just can't. I mean, you might as well just say the word moist to me, or like, because it's
Wait,
just not.
Krista?
Yeah. Don't say it. Please don't. Oh, I hate that fucking word. I hate that word.
It's amazing how many people hate that word. Like
It's
actually,
so strange. I just don't like it.
really, like I think it's one of the, like, it's a good word.
Yeah.
I
Wouldn't
don't
you
think
want
it's
your
that gross.
cake
I think
nice
it's the way
and moist?
it's said.
The cake, yeah, cake, but no,
Yeah.
I can't even say it with cake.
Eat that nice and moist cake. Mm.
I think it's the way it's said that turns people off, honestly,
Moist.
on the word.
Or like, all right, so like the word release, I can't
What?
release.
Giving someone a full release?
Like, yeah, like I gave him a release. I just,
Yeah.
mm-mm.
And if they just happen to be real moist after that release.
I just like I literally it makes my chest hurt when you say that. Like I feel pain.
So,
Oh my god. This live turned X-rated real quick.
Seriously, I wish Zach Peter was on with us because he's fun to talk this stuff with. He is nasty, raunchy, and fun.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah. We should
we-
call him. We should make him get on here with us real quick because he loves to talk about that shit.
yeah. Well, it'll just be a couple more days and we'll get to see.
I was gonna. I don't want to say this on the chat just in case, but I had. No, I'll tell you later, Joe.
Okay. Well, we could also go offline now.
Oh wait, I don't have. Yeah, I can, and we can stay backstage, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. All right, hold on. Oh, well, Christ, I feel like nobody's watching us. There is like 6 people watching. All right, guys, sorry that we went off the rails. Well, I did, but I hope everybody got the point out there that we talked about housewives for an hour and a half. And then, of course, I regressed. Sorry, Em, if you freaking hear this. Sorry, I don't want to kill you. I don't hate you. Okay.
Yeah.
thanks everybody for coming.
Bye, guys. All right, I'm just going to end the broadcast real quick. Okay. Watch us end it, right? Me end it.